This is our cheap 2005 Porsche 911 Carrera S, and we recently took it to a repair shop that quoted over $18,000 of repairs that they recommended for this vehicle. So in today's video, we're going to talk about whether or not we made a huge mistake. Initially, Roman saw a listing for this 05 Carrera S with pretty high miles, about 104,000 miles that it's showing now. And it was gonna go pretty cheap. He was the highest bidder at 28 grand, but there were no documents on one of this car's big issues, which is the IMS failure. However, after it was a no sale, where he was the highest bidder at 28,000, the car's seller reached out and showed documentation to show that the IMS, which is an intermediate shaft bearing on this, big deal if they fail, has been addressed, so that's not a problem on this car. The other big problem that these cars can have is bore scoring. That's not an issue on this one either. So when Roman found that out, saw documentation about it, he made a deal with the seller to buy it for $35,000, making this a very cheap Carrera S for what these cars typically go for.
We knew it didn't have any major issues, but there were still a few issues we needed to be addressed. Things like the heated seats and the windshield washers didn't work, the passenger side window wouldn't go up, and the passenger side seat wouldn't move up and back properly. So they ended up doing things like the oil change, they ended up replacing the cable for the passenger seat, which fixed that travel issue. They replaced the washer pump, they replaced the window motor, so that window is no longer an issue. They did a refill on the manual transmission fluid, they did a brake flush, they replaced the drive belt and pulleys, and finally, for the heated seats, they noticed that it just wasn't coated in the gateway for the heated seats, so they just had to recoat it. So that didn't cost anything, which is nice. All those repairs came to a total of $3,948.75.
Now, $4,000 is not a small repair bill, although maybe in the Porsche world it is, because the total of work that we declined to have performed at this moment amounted to about $14,500. Now, there are some items on that list that are understandably expensive. They quoted about $1,800 to mount and balance a fresh set of tires. And these are high-performance tires, or even 305s in the back, so those aren't cheap. But there were a few things that were shockingly expensive. Replacing the front struts, where they found a little bit of play and some looseness that has developed over the years, was quoted at about $2,800. Replacing the right radiator, where they found some coolant leaking, specifically just the right radiator, $1,500. $1,400 for the rear lower control arms. I'm sorry, this is very Porsche. Not the rear lower control arms, the front lower rearward control arms. They also quoted about $1,100 to remove and weld the flanges on the exhaust manifold, about $1,400 for the front brakes to be replaced, $2,800 for the rear shocks, $600 for the spark plugs. They are kind of hard to get to on most 911s. About $100 for an air filter, another $60 for a cabin air filter, and the slave cylinder, about $830. So all of that totals up to, $14,500. Now, here's the thing. This shop was going to be using all Porsche parts. Of course, Porsche parts are expensive, and it's not like these cars were designed to be as easy and quick to maintain as something like a Honda Civic. So it is expensive, this is no surprise, to maintain a Porsche 911. And if we were to do all of these things, then mechanically, this car would be essentially like new. And that's what we asked of this shop. We just wanted to know, what is everything that you could see might potentially benefit from replacement? Not things that are critical points of failure that's immediately going to disable this vehicle, because in general, this car actually drives really well. If you wanted to make it 100% perfect, you could spend a lot of extra money.
Aside from the necessary repairs, we did make a few improvements to this Porsche as well, including this $2,000 Kenwood head unit. We also found a used set of silver lobster claw wheels, and thanks to Michelin, we got a brand new set of Pilot Sport 4S's, putting us at the total investment into this Porsche at around $43,000. Now, Case, this is my first time in the driver's seat, or any of the seats, in this Carrera.
Yeah, so Jen has obviously been out on maternity leave for a while, and coming back, naturally, Roman had a few new toys for us to check out. I've gotten to spend a good amount of time behind the wheel of this car. We've done a couple videos with it, some drag racing. I was able to actually get this through the quarter mile quicker than Tommy's V8 Aston Martin.
Ooh.
Which I think is a testament to how well this car runs.
Absolutely.
But what do you think of the way that it drives? Does it feel especially loose or bad
I mean,
to you?
I wouldn't have guessed that there's over 100,000 miles on the clock here. It still feels rigid. It still feels very direct.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want it any other way, but I understand that there were some suspension aspects that they wanted to maybe have dialed in a little bit more, but it doesn't necessarily feel like it needed to be done.
For sure. It's something that, again, doesn't seem to be critical on this car. If you wanted to make it mechanically like brand new, then you could go through, replace some things. You can tell that this car has years and has miles on it. It doesn't feel as tight as a brand new 911 even 20 years ago would have felt. But the car still, to its credit, drives really well considering that it's got over 100,000 miles. These 911s are pretty durable.
It's like butter. And I can't wait to see what this is like with new tires on it as well, because that's going to make a huge difference.
That is going to make a big difference. But as it sits, not a lot of squeaks and rattles. The car's held together pretty well. I would be perfectly comfortable driving this cross country tomorrow if I had to.
Oh, absolutely. You know, the gearbox feels nice. The clutch feels good. I have no qualms with this thing.
Oh, and wait until you lay into it a little bit. It's a quick car. And it sounds good.
Woo, she does. I mean, what Porsche doesn't sound good, though?
I know.
Oh, that feels great. Yeah, the throws are nice and short. I gotta say, this was a good purchase by Roman. Very happy to see this toy in the toy box coming back.
And look, you know, $43,000 invested into this car is not a small sum of money, but at the end of the day, when you're looking into any Porsche 911, they're always pricey. They're pricey to buy, and of course, they're pricey to maintain for all the reasons that we talked about. The labor is not always the quickest because there are things on this car that are hard to get to.
Right.
And then the parts themselves, especially if you're going for all OEM parts, which a majority of shops are going to quote as they should, parts are very expensive too. So
it's a finely tuned machine, and as such, I would expect high repair costs. Not only high repair for the parts themselves, but the work that has to be done, I would expect to be kind of higher quality.
It's never going to be an inexpensive car to buy and to run. That being said, 43 grand invested in this car so far, and the experience that you get out of it is pretty good. And relative to other comparable 911s, 997s like this, especially a Carrera S, they can get much more expensive than what this one was, even after the few upgrades and repairs that we've made.
I think they found a good deal on this one.
Yeah, this car is a gem. Of every vehicle that TFL has bought, this is maybe the one that, for me personally, I would be most excited about owning myself.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so
I like this car a lot.
Some of the ones for me would probably be the Viper.
Sure, yeah.
But for our specific situation with the Viper, those seats are not adjustable, and I don't have the longest of legs.
Fit better in this car.
So, yeah, exactly. People like Andre can drive that Viper very easily.
Yeah.
But I can't.
Yeah.
But this is definitely a lot more enjoyable of a drive. It just feels so refined, finely tuned. Oh, it's beautiful. Tell me that's not a lovely thing. So, look, all in all, there are some more things that could be done to this car if we want to make it absolutely perfect, like we said, but this is such an enjoyable driver. It's got some miles on it, so it is a driver at this point. It's not a museum piece. And that's perfect for what we do, because we go out, we film videos, we take these cars drag racing. The point is not to park them and store them away. The point is to use them, get them on the road, film with them. Enjoy them.
This is absolutely perfect for that. So I actually think that this has ended up being a good purchase, even though theoretically we could go over the top and spend what I would call maybe too much money on it. That's not our plan.
No, I think where we're at is perfect for it, because once you start making it pristine, then you kind of don't want to drive it as much. I think she's perfect the way it is.
Exactly. So let us know what you think in the comments below, but overall I would chalk this car up as a win. That's all for this video. Thanks to Jen for helping me out, and we'll see you in the next.